Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good to be with you this morning here on a Saturday, March 12th. And if you are watching this here as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 15, 20 minutes. Just getting on here, making sure people can hear the audio clear. Do a little countdown here for some of the radio stations and all that good stuff. There you have it. Make sure everybody's on here and can hear me. There you go. All righty. Let's see here. Make sure you can hear the audio here. Anybody chiming in there? Let me know if you got something here. So, what the hell is this? There. Right there. Make sure I can hear myself. Yep. All right. Let's get the old mayor on here. Do a little prep. Show prep. Checking heifers.
Hello.
Mr. Mayor.
Hey, Mayor, how you doing?
The mayor of...
What'd I call you, the Emperor of Rame or
No.
President of Rame?
I'm not going to take either one because that whole in Rame inner city politics is very complicated right now.
Oh, okay.
They had some
how
issues.
Or what county? How about Slope County?
Slope County. There you go. Oh, man.
Oh. No, I am doing good. Recovering nicely. So
yeah. Well, we're on YouTube here, just doing an audio test here before we go on the actual radio side. So
okay,
we are on YouTube, and I'm taking my daily, my weekly dose of ivermectin here. So
all right, how's that working out?
So far, so good.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing: it isn't hurting me, and even if it's a placebo effect. I've been really good for like 2.5 years. So I mean, with any type of illness, so I'm okay.
Okay. In that world, it's kind of like, hey, you do you, man.
Exactly.
You know, I was in the hog business for 10 years, and some people swore by LA 200.
Yep. Well, that's what my dad used to give me. Back in the day, as Clay Peterson always says, back in my day. He used to put like a couple of cc's in orange juice. But oh man, is LA 200 nasty. That stuff is bitter.
It's not something it's worse than Budweiser beer, actually.
Hey now. Now you're stepping on things there.
Oh, sorry.
If you'd have said hams, then we'd have had ourselves a fight. But anyway, the folks on YouTube here, they can see me here. There's the ivermectin I'm taking. But here's how I take it, Mr. Cox.
Yes, sir.
A little bit of Remy Martin on top of it because...
Oh, okay. Well, usually I'm watching you on YouTube on my phone, but since I'm talking to you on my phone, I'm not watching you.
You can't do that. Well, we'll do that here.
Well, I probably can. I'm just not that technologically advanced.
Yeah. Well, that's okay because then it might interfere with something too. Who knows, Ben?
Yeah. But I'm having a cup of coffee.
You know, I take the ivermectin anytime I know I'm going into like a crowd of people and coming back. So today I have, after the show, I got to bust out of here, make sure the heifers are okay, and then I am headed to Mandan for a gun auction.
I heard there's one coming up at Baymont.
That's today, yeah.
Yeah, levers and revolvers and all that stuff.
Oh.
Okay.
Remy Martin does not mask the taste of ivermectin very well. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to ask, what is Remy Martin?
Remy Martin is a VSOP cognac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a,
It's like Hennessy.
down in my man cave. I don't know if you've seen a picture of it or not, but I have I call it my whiskey collection. And it's all unopened bottles of all kinds of whiskey.
Good whiskey. I need to see that. We need to break at least one of them open.
Well, she'll probably kill me for it, but I made her replace it. But my wife had some girlfriends over years ago, and they like, we're going to drink that bottle of Smirnoff. And it's like, I made her replace it. And they drank my bottle of Smirnoff. So, no, I've got stuff from, just odd shaped bottles and funky stuff that just caught my eye. And
so during Lenten season, I don't drink except for my shot of ivermectin here this morning. But
okay.
I try to do that, and and it's during calving season, so it's really difficult sometimes. But I know I can do that. At least I can go 40 days without doing it, so that's nice. But when it comes to whiskey, I really enjoy it. I enjoy different flavors, different samples. I got a neighbor of mine. Stations, by the way, 6:58:30 coming up, 6:58:30, and that is on 6:58:30 coming up on Mark. Anyway, one of my neighbors, Bill Betest, great guy, built a nice little bar inside of his shop, and he invited me over one evening. He says, "Go ahead, Scott, help yourself to anything on the shelf." I'm like, "Anything?" And this guy's got like $200-300 bottles of whiskey. And I'm like, "Are you serious about this?" Because I will crack one of these open. And he was fine with it. He's like, "Go ahead." He says, "I was made to drink." He says, "I ain't going to take it with me." I'm like, "Well, that's a good way to look at it." So, Mr. Mayor, time to get those bottles opened up.
Well, my underlying plan, and I do tell my wife this, I'll tell Lori, hey, when I leave this world, you parade this stuff out at the auction.
There you go.
And
there you go.
Everybody's got a bidder number, keeps raising their hand, they get a shot. So, yeah, let everybody
I like it.
Let everybody sample it during the auction. She'll get more that way. That's my plan.
Big Daddy Dave Williams on a Pierce, South Dakota radio station, KGFX down there, says he's a fan of the Screwball whiskey and Drunken Bean whiskey. Now, I've heard of Screwball, but I've never heard of the Drunken Bean.
I've never heard of those. I think
Screwball is, peanut butter flavored, isn't it, or something? I can't remember.
Ooh.
I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought it was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know if the distillery's in Pierre or not, but I did snatch up a few bottles of a couple of distilleries there, and then there's like Outlaw or I can't remember the names of them now off the top of my head, but they're out in the hills. They make whiskey.
Yeah. So I was in Dimmock, South Dakota, on the way to Sioux Falls to do an auction, and Dimmock cheese. Yeah. What phenomenal little store they have in that little town. Anyway, they had this, it's from Pierre. I can't remember. It's out in the freezer, out in the shop. It's called Coyote 100.
Yes.
And it's basically moonshine, but it is smooth, man. That is really, and I know it's made in Pierre or Fort Pierre, and I can't remember the name of the distillery, but that would be something I would like to try, is doing my own spirits. But, cattle ranching so profitable right now.
Well, yeah, you got the Cayman Islands accounts are getting full, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he says that.
In the ranching business, yeah. Well, you mentioned the Lenten season. See, I was raised as a Baptist, so if you have any trouble on Fridays, I can convert a ribeye steak to fish. That's one of my specials.
I think I was brought up in a different Catholic family. Okay, I really do, because so yes, they tried to, we tried to eat fish on Friday, but it wasn't a rule. It wasn't like a sin if we didn't have any fish, which, the only fish we got was from the Schwann's truck, right? And if we didn't have any, we could eat anything we want. And the priest he was okay with it. It wasn't like a sin or anything. And you see some of these people, man, they must be a lot stricter than what I was. So I don't know. Be a good person and try to help your neighbor. He says screwball is the peanut butter stuff. Drunken bean is coffee flavored with Madagascar vanilla bean made in Idaho. Huh.
Might have to find a bottle of that stuff.
Clay Peterson, Pappy Van Winkle, I've heard is good stuff. I've never heard of that. Morning, Clay.
Just depends on the bottle, my wife and I every year for my birthday in January, we will go to Deadwood, and sometimes we'll stop at that liquor store in Sturgis, and I just like to walk through and just look at the different shapes of bottles.
Sturgis has a pretty good liquor store there, don't they?
I would say it's massive. Well, from what for my shopping taste, I guess.
I know there's a lot of different sculptured bottles out there. It'd be kind of cool to do it like you do and collect them. I'm just not a collector. Don't do that.
I am a hoarder. I am.
Are you?
Yes. I will admit on live YouTube radio,
I have a problem. I'm a hoarder.
And my wife will come through, and I have an affinity for coffee cans. Never throw a coffee can out because you might need to put something in it. So she'll come through and just clear them all out. It's like, what'd you do with them? Well, you weren't using them. Well, you're right, but I might need one.
Okay, so Clay sends me this Pappy Van Winkle Special Reserve 12 years, $1,800 a bottle. The 2016 Family Reserve is $10,000 a bottle.
Probably won't be in my collection anytime soon.
No. I'd drink it though.
Oh,
I mean,
for that kind of money, I might even take a shot.
Got Shelly listening from Arizona.
Holy Toledo, yeah, all right.
Shelly Llewellyn?
Yep.
Okay. Must be somebody you know there, huh?
Mobridge native, yes.
Okay. Station 70400, 70400 on Mark. Man. So I'm into the calving sleep pattern is what I'm into right now.
Okay.
So for some reason, my 3 o'clock check this morning, I've been up since 3 o'clock. So I don't know. I feel just fine and dandy, like everything's ready to go for the day. So maybe I'm just excited to get up to the gun auction.
That could be, yeah. I've never raised a cow in my life, so
just keep buying them. Keep buying meat.
I
from
do
a
that
local reputable distributor. And I don't know who that would be.
But. We do have a butcher shop in town, but pick it up here and there. But no, I was always in my first job, real bill paying job right out of college was working for the kelp swine breeders in hog industry.
Okay, hold on, Gene. We're going to go quiet here for the last 60 seconds before we start, and get to our first break. We can talk about it here. So stand by stations. I have 45 seconds till showtime. 45 seconds on Mark. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good to have you along here this morning on a beautiful Saturday morning. The wind is going to be coming up across much of the Dakota Territory, but right now, let's sit back and bask in the glory of no wind this morning so far, and that's just fine. Coming up today, if you're watching on YouTube, you see I'm kind of dressed up a little bit. In my theory, I'm dressed up, but today I'll be on the road to Mandan, North Dakota. Go to the Baymont Inn. There is a gun auction up that way. And so I'll be partaking in that as well. A couple of sales coming up your way. You want to make sure of the RWR Angus Ranch out of Harvey, North Dakota. Thank you guys for advertising with Dakota Prairie Outdoors. And don't forget, they're doing their bull sale online only type of auction. It's going to be starting March 20th through 22nd. You go to DV Auction for more information. And coming up in Bowman, North Dakota, the Medicine Rocks and Spring Angus sale. That's April 22nd at the Bowman Auction Market. So a couple sales coming up your way if you're still looking for some good black-hided bulls. Black Lives Matter. Gene Cox, good morning from Mobridge, South Dakota. Am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get in trouble by posting Black Lives Matter stuff?
I don't care.
I know you don't. I know. I got to be more politically correct. Some people say black livestock is maybe that's what matters here. But how you doing here this morning, Mayor of Mobridge, South Dakota? Good to have you along. Gene Cox here is with me here and recovering nicely. Rumor has it you had a little bit of surgery.
Yeah, I got my second hip put in last Wednesday, so about a week and a half ago.
So how is that? You go out and you shoot. We're going to talk about competition shooting here in a little bit. We're also going to probably talk about the best lever guns in according to Outdoor Life magazine, but in our own minds too. When does it get to the point where you're like, you know what, it's time to get a hip replaced?
For me, it was when you can't take your kids hunting.
Yeah,
honestly. I struggled a little bit, and it's like, you know what, I really can't go over logs and take them out like they should, and the pain, you're just laying there awake, it hurts, and you're like, oh, I need to take like 4 ibuprofen a night. And yeah, it's just like, I got to do something.
So what is the recovery? Is it just laying around, or is there some certain exercises that they recommend you doing here? Maybe taking some ivermectin. I don't know.
Do the exercises they tell you, and the technological marvel of it to me is they get you out of that bed and make you walk around the day of the surgery.
Really?
Yep. When you leave the hospital, that's what the doctor told me. He said, walk around on it, feel comfortable. If you don't have any restrictions, just do what take it easy. So
yeah, take it easy, but get some movement going on. Now,
get some movement going.
So you're not like one of those hunters that just says, you know what, I can't walk very far. So what I'm going to do is just sit and hunt from the vehicle and just drive all over the place.
It was getting to that point.
It's like,
no, it's like, this is not what I signed up to do. I like to go, I like to go kind of traipse through the woods and then be like, oh crap, it's a long way back to the pickup. So yeah, it was just getting to the point where I couldn't do that. And, you try to, teach your kids, to do it right and, get out, let's do this. And if we don't see a deer or a turkey, at least we saw woodpeckers and nuthatches and badgers and porcupines and all that stuff. So,
I talk about this with John Arman all the time. I'm sure you listen to John Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. We discuss this, and, I watched his youngest girl grow up. And for the years, I think I've known John for like 12, 13, 14 years now. And watching his daughter grow up and getting into hunting, the best part was the very first interview I did with her she was talking about shooting her first deer. Mm-hmm. And I think I still have this saved somewhere. She was so excited and she was so just jacked to tell me the story. She's like, so I shot this deer and killed it. And then I got up and started running, and then I killed it again. And her dad was in the back listening, just a big grin on his face, proud, and it's just exciting to hear that. But we talk about getting the kids and getting the youth out there and teaching them. Now, you and I probably grew up hunting differently than a lot of other people have. And mine was get out and walk. I mean, get out and just pound the ground and just do what you need to do. And also maybe probably take the shot, especially if you're deer hunting or any kind of big game, is, take a good ethical shot. And not only that, but if it's down in an area you can't get to it and the meat's going to spoil, you probably shouldn't take that shot. But I don't know if they do that anymore. I think if they see, they see it, if it's brown, it's down is what they say, right?
Yeah, I've heard that. And I was probably a little bit, maybe I need to loosen the reins, but my youngest daughter, it's kind of, same thing. Don't take the shot unless it's broadside, unless everything's 100% certain. And I think now she's overly cautious, so she won't take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I mean, it's your hunt. We'll do this, that you feel comfortable with, because yeah, you're going to shoot an animal, So
Right. Do you have your kids clean gut and clean their own animal too?
Yeah, Sarah, my middle daughter, she got one last year, and yeah, I have her kind of skin and stuff. And sometimes for me, it's kind of, all right, I'm going to say this, it's kind of painful for me to watch kids, skin and gut is like, you're killing me here. Just let me help you out,
I'm
So,
with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. And I actually enjoy the gutting process, and I don't know why, but I dislike the boning process. So I mean, I'll gut everybody's deer if they'll bone out the meat for me. But
okay.
I do that too. But I mean, I don't know what it is. I just as soon as there's a deer down, I usually want to jump in and do it right away. And I think that has a lot to do, like you just said, it's painful for me to watch some other people do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that's
sloppiness.
the meat inspector in me coming out. It's like,
Yeah.
Don't cut that. You're gonna, slow down. Now Sarah and she did get her first antelope a couple of years ago, and I was showing her how to field dress it. And for me, the great part was, Dad, what's this? Well, that's the spleen. What's that? Well, that's the liver. That's the gallbladder. So yeah, we almost had we had an anatomy class in the sagebrush,
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing.
And I'll give it to you guys. I know you're listening, but Sarah did use a 6.5 Swede.
Nice.
Not the 708,
Yeah. What's people's issues with the 6.5 Creedmoor? I've been shooting one forever. Everybody says there's not enough knockdown power. I've killed everything with one shot, everything I use it on.
Oh, I don't know. It's just fun to pick on.
Oh, come on now. Fun to pick on. That's the thing. Jamie Brecht used to always call it, and he was a 308 guy, and he probably still is. And I know he's listening. All right, so probably sitting out in his hunting shack somewhere, having a shot of liquor and watching some deer while listening to the program. But I think I slowly converted him. He came out hunting antelope with me one time, and I just wanted to take a doe. And I think I may have impressed a little bit when he saw what that can do from a distance anyway. So anyway, Gene Cox is my guest here. Stay with me, my friend here. We're up against our first break. Coming up your way again, online auction only, March 20th through 22nd is the RWR Angus Ranch out of Harvey, North Dakota. And they got 38 yearling bulls, 10 2-year-old bulls. It's all DV auction, online only, timed auction. It starts March 20th and goes to March 22nd on DV auction. Coming up your way, more with Gene Cox out of Mobridge, South Dakota, talking about shooting competitions and lever action rifles and all that good stuff. It's all coming around your way here. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues all across this Dakota territory. The RWR Angus Ranch will be having an online production sale starting March 20th and closing the 22nd. Online sale will be hosted by DV Auction, 38 Black Angus yearling bulls and 10 2-year-old bulls. Sires include Broken Bow, Basin Payweight, Raven Powerball, and many more. Bulls will be available for viewing at the ranch southwest of Harvey. For pictures and updates, follow the RWR Angus Ranch on Facebook or find them on Bizman Online. Proven fertility and powerful bulls offered through DV Auction online only sale. The RWR Angus Ranch online production sale, March 20th through the 22nd.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've grown along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists. Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. The RWR Angus Ranch will be having an online production sale starting March 20th and closing the 22nd. Online sale will be hosted by DV Auction. 38 Black Angus yearling bulls and 10 2-year-old bulls. Sires include Broken Bow, Basin Payweight, Raven Powerball, and many more. Bulls will be available for viewing at the ranch southwest of Harvey. For pictures and updates, follow the RWR Angus Ranch on Facebook or find them on Bizman Online. Proven fertility and powerful bulls offered through DV Auction online only sale. The RWR Angus Ranch online production sale, March 20th through the 22nd.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors, a Saturday edition. You're listening all across the Dakota Territory, KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, KOLY in Mobridge, KFYR in Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and KLTC Dickinson. Good to have you along here. The Missouri River is covered. Gene Cox is my guest here as he's calling in from Mobridge, a little R&R. You ready to take a few phone calls there, Mr. Cox?
Well, let her rip.
Yeah, let's talk outdoors. 888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. When you call in, you're automatically put on hold, and I'll get to your phone call. Like this one, 220 number. What's going on today?
Morning, Scott.
It's Jamie. I should recognize that number, but it comes up as sometimes private. Hey, I want to tell you this. Gene Cox and I, during the break, we were discussing things, and we both agreed that Biden did support one caliber, and that's the 308.
Whatever caliber of 12 gauge is, that's the only thing I've heard him say that you'll ever need,
That's
double
it.
barrel.
Double barrel shotgun. That's right.
So I heard you talking about the 6.5 thing. And yes, I am a convert. I am a convert from 308, but it started years ago. And you and Jesse were always riding me about being a big 308 man. and giving me all the praising the 6.5 and how great it was. And then during deer season, I don't remember what year it was, but it was years ago. I had an American Rifleman NRA magazine and a camper, and my dad is reading it. There's a big article about 6.5 in there. So he ended up buying one. And then, you know, all I ever heard about for the next 2 years is how great it was. And I ended up having a couple rotator cuff surgeries within a year, and the 308 kind of had hurt my shoulder. So I sold it to my friend, and I did buy a Creedmoor. And then ever since then, I was a 308. You know, I still love it. In fact, I sold mine to my good friend Travis Jorts, and he killed a muley buck this year at 425 yards, one shot. But I agree, the Creedmoor, less recoil, probably more accurate. Love everything about it. And your story about the antelope, I had already had my Creedmoor, but when I came down with my antelope pig, I had a Creedmoor. Remember, I shot my buck there in that open field. And then we went over that other one. And yes, you did impress me with your shot, because it was 500 yards and there was some wind, and Scott did hit it in the heart with one shot. I was impressed.
Gene, it was a great story, because when we were looking at this buck antelope, he's like, well, that's in an open field. How are we going to get to it? I'm like, well, let's just do the dumbest thing possible and just go straight at it. And it started walking toward us.
yeah, that was crazy. And then he started kind of half trotting too. So, and then he started angling kind of away, and I decided that's when I needed to shoot. I don't remember what it was. It was about 410 or something, but you know, wasn't a perfect shot, I guess. We thought he was down, right? And then,
well, he was down.
We were kind of sitting there talking, and then you look and you're like, hey, standing up. So then I had to get out and shot him in the neck.
You know, and that's the thing is, the reason I was giving you such a hard time about the Creedmoor is because that's what I was shooting at the time. You know, I mean, I was a big 270 fan for so many years. My 270, I still love that rifle because it was so accurate. And, but, you know, I mean, and right now I have my 223 in my pickup. You know, and that's just so I can get out of the pickup really fast type of and go after some coyotes that way. So
an all around. I mean, 223 is almost exclusively what I shoot most of the time. But yeah, my buddy shoots a 270 for deer, and in fact, you know, he just got his mount back. It's a giant mule deer, but yeah, he shoots it, and he's just a killer with that thing. It's 270 definitely impressed me with his killing power, but you know, 6.5 for its size and everything, I don't think you can beat that.
Yeah.
You know,
so Gene and I were talking during the break. The one caliber, if you had to, he said, if aliens came down and said you can only pick one caliber, Gene, what did you say you were going to pick?
I would go with a 30-06 in that dire aspect.
Yeah. How about you, Jamie?
223.
You get 223? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Just for the fact that there's just so much of it around. I mean, and I'm so used to shooting it that, you know, no recoil. And if you have to kill something to eat with it, you can.
You can, yeah.
And they're just plentiful.
That'd be a hard one for me because I would, you know, for me, it's like, okay, if I could only have one, I would probably pick the one that I have the most ammunition in. And I'm not sure which that would be at this point because I kind of went on a hoarding spree there for a little bit.
Well, you had a bunch of 223. You gave me a bunch there when I was up antelope hunting. We were shooting prairie dogs the next morning when I ran out.
That's right. So you got all my 223 ammo. But hey, appreciate the call in, Jamie. Appreciate it very much.
Good talking to you guys. You have a nice weekend.
You bet. See you later. 888-932-5682 again is the phone number you want to call in and chime in. Clay Peterson messaged me. He says 300 Win Mag. It would be his choice if he could only pick one. There's a lot of people, Gene, that 300, man, they love that round.
Yes, and that's back to what I said. You put 10 people in a room, you're going to get 10 different answers.
Well, as you should. Should. And I don't think any one's better than the other unless, I mean, it depends what you're using it for. You know,
correct.
That's the thing. I mean, I probably, I used my 28 Nosler on a coyote one time. I'm not going to do that again. There was a quite substantial hole in it.
That's a little much if you're selling it to a fur buyer, right?
There was nothing left to sell there. That was definitely one that just stayed out in the pasture, but I hit it. So that was nice.
Well, you got that going for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So,
But
well, we only got 3 more minutes before we get to the second half. So we're going to talk about shooting competitions and lever actions in the second half. But first deer rifle. Well, I told you mine was a 1903 Springfield chambered in 30-06 peep sight. I flipped up the sight, dialed it in. My dad showed me. My dad was back then in the military. They didn't call him snipers. He said that he was a sharpshooter. And I don't know if that was different or not. But
okay.
that's what he showed me how to do that, and that's how I did. So, what was your first deer rifle?
First deer rifle I ever went into the woods with was a 30-30 that my dad borrowed from my granddad, and didn't get anything with it. And Dad decided I needed something different, and so my granddad said, "I'm going to give you and your cousin, both, the two grandsons, the choice." And so my choice was his rifle or the new rifle, and they were in 270. So my first deer rifle I ever went hunting with a scope was a Remington 7600. That's a pump action, 270 rifle.
Well, you don't see those pump actions very much, do you?
No, I've seen very few of them, and then that gun has been relegated to safe queen status because Granddad passed away in 2000, so like he bought it for me, he gave it to me, so I'll just keep it in the safe. And I've even got a box of bullets that came with it with a price tag of like $8 on them.
So a couple texts comes in. Riley Schaefer says if the Russians invade, he's picking the 300 PRC. If he's hunting, he's going with the 6.5 Creed. And Darren Munn says if he could pick one, it's a 7mm Rem Mag. But going back to the first rifle, hunting rifle, guess what I paid for my 1903 Springfield? And I'm guessing this was, how old was I? That would have been probably in the late 80s is when I took that.
I'm going to say $100.
$50.
Wow.
$50. What? I don't even know what that rifle would be worth right now. And it's full wood stock. It's full. I mean, there is some change in the coloration, so they must have switched the forend at one time, but it's not cut down to be light or anything. It's the way it is.
Depending on who made it, lots of companies made them during the war effort, but you're probably closer to 1,000 than you are 100 or 50 now.
All right. That sounds good. See, I hope my wife is listening. This is how we, when I pass on, there she goes. That's the nest egg. I got another text message, 270. Oh, it went away on me here. 270 short mag. And I've never shot a short mag. Never done that. Another one says, Wayne Muth, he got his first one at Coast to Coast, $176. It was a Remington 788 and chambered in 243. Now, I have a 243 story, I'll tell you, but we're up against the second break here. Stay with me. Gene Cox out of Mobridge, South Dakota is my guest here. Going to be talking shooting competitions, and if you want to chime in about, what's your favorite caliber or what was your very first deer gun, feel free. 888-932-5682. Having a little fun this morning. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues all across the Dakota territory. And thank you for those watching on my YouTube live right now. We'll be back after these messages. The RWR Angus Ranch will be having an online production sale starting March 20th and closing the 22nd. Online sale will be hosted by DV Auction, 38 Black Angus yearling bulls and 10 2-year-old bulls. Sires include Broken Bow, Bazin Payweight, Raven Powerball, and many more. Bulls will be available for viewing at the ranch southwest of Harvey. For pictures and updates, follow the RWR Angus Ranch on Facebook or find them on Bizman Online. Proven fertility and powerful bulls offered through DV Auction online only sale. The RWR Angus Ranch online production sale, March 20th through the 22nd.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. The RWR Angus Ranch will be having an online production sale starting March 20th and closing the 22nd. Online sale will be hosted by DV Auction. 38 Black Angus yearling bulls and 10 2-year-old bulls. Sires include Broken Bow, Basin Payweight, Raven Powerball, and many more. Bulls will be available for viewing at the ranch southwest of Harvey. For pictures and updates, follow the RWR Angus Ranch on Facebook or find them on Bizman Online. Proven fertility and powerful bulls offered through DV Auction online only sale. The RWR Angus Ranch online production sale, March 20th through the 22nd.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Going to have you along all across the Dakota Territory, up and down the Missouri River, 6 states, 2 Canadian provinces, and just having a good time here on a fairly pretty nice, but you can feel the warmth out there compared to the last couple of days. Gene Cox from Mulberg, South Dakota is my guest, and we got a couple messages. So first and foremost, if you're watching on YouTube, I have my computer set up. It's I'm starting my AI heifers. All the AI ones are starting to calve. So in the background, you can see I have my cow cam set up. For some reason, I can't do it on my new computer because, I don't know, I lost the IP address, so it's still on this old computer back there. So I'm watching that. So that's what you're seeing in the background on the YouTube. One guy, Tim on YouTube watching, says, for what I do, his favorite rifle is the Winchester 30-30. That's like the Western. The West was won with the 30-30.
You know, in 1895, when the 30-30 came out, that was the Shabazz.
Yeah.
You know, first round, smokeless powder, 2,300 feet per second. I mean, that was a 6.5 or the 300 win of the day.
Yeah,
you know?
It was. Yeah, and it was accurate too.
Yes.
Yeah. And Yeah, and we're very quickly here. The Randy Gaby listening. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate you listening this morning. He says first deer gun was my dad's Remington 244 semi-automatic with open sight, and that leads me into what got me into lever actions. Gene was growing up. My oldest brother Wade, he had a lever action 243, and it was the first rifle that I've ever seen when I was a kid. I was the first one I seen with a scope on it. And I was just intrigued by this thing. And he let me shoot this rifle one time. He's like, just aim for that rock, put the crosshairs on it, aim for the rock. And I mean, I hit that rock. It's probably maybe 100, 200 yards. It wasn't very far away, but that's what got me into loving lever action rifles was that 243 rifle. And so when you talk about lever, I know you're a lever action guy. What type are you strictly lever action competition shooting? Is there different categories? How is this done?
Yeah. Now the one you just described, they would not let you shoot because I'm guessing that's a Browning lever action.
Browning. There you go. It was either Browning. I'm pretty sure because it was a beautiful, beautiful rifle. Yeah.
But the NRA sanctioned rules are it's got to feed from a tube.
Okay.
So you're out right there. It has to feed from a tube, has to have a rim like a 30-30, 45-70.
Okay.
And has to shoot ammunition that is, that would have been used in a lever action, round or flat pointed bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, your 243s, or if you load your own, any type of pointed bullet or anything like that, you're barred from it. Okay. And what I like about that type of competition is that is the low tech competition. You stand up there unsupported, iron sights, and you shoot targets at predetermined distances.
Yeah. Where are the distances at usually?
If you're shooting at 30-30 or anything like that, 45-70, you're shooting you're shooting a chicken at 50 meters, a pig at 100 meters, a turkey at 150 meters, and a ram at 200 meters.
Okay.
And there's no, the beauty of this is there's no 10 ring, 9 ring, whatever. You hit the target, it falls off the stand, it's a hit.
Okay.
You miss the target or you hit the target and it doesn't fall off the stand, it's a miss.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple.
So how do they judge it? I mean, that's it. You have so many out of 4 and then you go to the next round, or how does the competition work?
You shoot a bank of 5 for a total of 10. So you get up there, you got 5 shots, you got 30 seconds to make your adjustments, load your rifle, and then you have 2 minutes to fire 5 rounds. You shoot at the targets in order. So you shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you get usually a 30-second or a 1-minute break, and then you repeat and shoot the next 5, and then you're done with that bank of animals, and you go sit back down and you rotate to the next one.
Do you get your kids involved in this too?
I do. I drag them with me.
Okay.
They enjoy going. Sarah actually came with me to Arizona, and Arizona was kind of hey, Phoenix, February, sure beats the Dakotas. Well, let's go. And I had asked Sarah, I said, you want to come with me? Yeah, sure. So I signed her up, and she did surprisingly well. She's all nervous, I'm going to suck. This isn't going to work right. We're going to have a terrible time. The beauty of this type of competition, and I'm not saying others are not, because I don't know, but the beauty of this type of competition is nobody's going to say, I hope you lose, you suck. It's more of a, hey, we're glad you're here. And she's 17. She's, was a woman shooter, junior shooter. And there was a couple of other women shooters there, and they're like, hey, you want to be on our team? Let's sign you up. So, I mean, that built a lot of confidence right there. So those are the things I like about that type of sport.
Somebody told me one time, I don't know if this is still true, but when they were recruiting military recruitment centers all around the area, they said they always went to the Plain States, the Dakotas, to get the best shooters. Is that still kind of hold true?
That part I don't know. I went through basic training in Fort Sill, and I will say this: there are some people that go into the armed forces that have never held a firearm in their life, and it shows.
Yeah.
So The thing I learned, and I still use this, it's this little nugget, but I don't like Kentucky windage. And the military rifle, that got that out of me. It's like adjust the sight to hit the center of the target.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in reality, can you tell me how much a foot and a half is at 400 yards?
Not at all.
Yeah. So that's, you listen to people, oh, you hold about a foot over at 500 yards. Can you tell me how far a foot is in trying to hit a foot and a half target?
Yeah, you talking a foot out there or a foot back here, or what do you? Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That's how when I was bringing Savage out and Ron Coburn, the CEO of the company back then, when he was always designing and testing rifles on the Prairie Dog Town, he was always 2 dogs left and 1 dog high is how he would call it all the time. So it was like Kentucky windage all the time on that side. So I know exactly what you're saying.
So I'm kind of that nerd, and I think everybody else is too. But when I move from target to target, I adjust my sights to, okay, the chicken, got to have it on this notch. The pig, you have it on this notch. So forth and so on. And you put your sight adjustments on that notch. You shoot center mass, and hopefully the bullet hits where you're going. And the bullet always hits where the barrel's pointed, but sometimes it's not always pointed at the middle of the target.
So what do you win on these competitions?
The bragging right of knowing you're the best shooter. You don't do it for money and prizes. It's,
okay.
They give out trophies and awards and things like that. And I just, like I said, to me, I enjoy it. So
don't they host a kind of a nice little shoot? Is it Aberdeen or is it Mobridge that they do a long range shoot?
You're probably in a different world, but I know.
Yeah. I know it's not lever action, but I think it's called the Dakota Duel or something.
There's something down in Fort Pierre. I think the Varmint Hunters have one.
Sure.
When I was down in Arizona, they have right next to us was a 1,000-yard range, and it's like the Berger Bullets 1,000-yard range. And I noticed these guys had on shirts that had Lapua and Berger, and they almost look like NASCAR guys.
Oh yeah.
And that's a whole nother discipline, and I'm not really into it, so I don't know enough about it. But these guys are shooting 1,000 yards, and I'm shooting 200 yards. So.
I did take a couple classes from some long range shooters one time, and it did help. Short range, everything, just the techniques here. A couple text messages comes in. I got one. It says, "Hey, Remington 30-06 paid $125 for it back in 1973. It's still a tack driver." Like you said. And also Jamie says the Rimfire 22 lever action is tough to beat for just fun plinking around. And I haven't seen a lever action 22 in a long time either. Maybe today at the gun auction, maybe I should buy one because I have a whole bunch of 22 ammunition and I haven't shot 22 in a long, long time.
Yeah, no, there is a category of that too. There's 3 guns. There's your high power, lever gun. And then there's one they call pistol caliber, which, that'd be what would be shot in a revolver, 38, 444 or 4440. And then there's a category for 22. So
there is. Nice.
Yep. So there's 3 categories, and and Sarah did really well in the 22, but that was kind of the last day. And I kept trying to tell her, quit looking at the scores, you shoot, because you play head games. I don't even look at my scorecard when I'm shooting. I just, I know if I'm shooting pretty good. I know if I'm shooting like crap, but, if you go look at the score, and I've got to shoot 200-yard rounds, and, Scott's got to shoot, 50-yard chickens, and man, I got to hit 6 rounds, and he's only got to get 7 chickens, and then you start psyching yourself out, So it's like, no, just get up and shoot what you shoot, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, we got to talk about lever action because now I'm getting in text messages, bringing in talking levers. First, I want to remind South Dakota listeners, deer season, West River deer season applications for West and East River are due on Monday, online application dates. So just a heads up there, Mr. Cox, get your license in, get your stuff going here. So
yeah, better get on the ball.
Yeah, so I have Wayne Muth says one of his favorite lever actions is a Savage 99 and a 253,000.
Okay,
I've never seen or heard of that one.
that's your 250 Savage.
Okay.
It's based off the 300 Savage, and it gets to 3,000 because when they brought that out, that fired the first bullet to exceed 3,000 feet per second.
Okay.
So again, I mean, we're talking super duper technology back in the day.
You're like the Encyclopedia Britannica of lever actions, aren't you?
I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff because I like to read it.
Okay, well, here's this text says, right now my go-to gun is a Henry lever action in 44 mag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got, I bought one of those in a Marlin, when you could still get Marlins. Just, again, because it's like, I think that'd be cool.
Whatever happened? So I'm looking at the top 10 list from Outdoor Life magazine on best lever actions in their mind. And the Marlin 1895 is number 10 on the list. Whatever happened to Marlin?
I don't know. They used to put them out quite a bit, and back when everybody decided they wanted an AR, I think Marlin went to making AR parts or something, quit putting out lever actions, and Remington, they were under the Remington umbrella, and I think they've moved over to Ruger now. So everybody's kind of anticipating the new Ruger Marlin built lever gun. So.
Gotcha. Well, they hold the number 9 spot. Marlin 336 is at number 9. And then Marlin 39A is at number 8. And then we get into the Brownings at number 7. The BLR Browning is number 7 best lever action according to Outdoor Life. But that, again, is a lever action that probably wouldn't be tournament.
Correct.
Right, yeah.
Those are clip fed, or they have the detachable magazine. So yeah, you're out right there with, and there again, 243s, 30-06s. I think they made those in every caliber known to man.
Yeah, and the Savage Model 99 comes in at number 6 as the best lever action in the in today's history, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know the years of production on that one, but that was kind of an oddball, and they made those in some, weird calibers too. So
here's one that I've never had. I love my shotguns, and I used to do a lot of bird hunting, and I kind of got away with it a little bit now that I'm more into the coyote hunting side. So I want to get back into it. And at number 5 on the best lever action guns out there is the Winchester 1887 shotgun. And I've never ever had a lever shotgun yet, ever in my life. So maybe today's the day I might have to look and buy one.
Yeah, that was kind of an odd duck. That's the one Arnie was using in the Terminator on the motorcycle.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm not quite sure you can shoot a 12 gauge with a pistol grip off of a motorcycle with that accuracy. But
if you're the Terminator, you can. Evidently.
Well, yeah, off of a Harley, I mean.
Not only that, but it was wasn't it a fat boy Harley? I mean, one of the hardest ones to drive single-handedly that way. But
but yeah, you're the Terminator in Hollywood, and those guys don't miss. That's what gets me,
Coming in at number 4 is the Winchester 1894.
That's the king, in my opinion.
In your opinion, that's the one. Okay.
That's Marlin 336 is strong. It's steel. That is a lever action that'll last. But the 1894, that's kind of the first modern, strong steel, can handle smokeless powder. I mean, that's the gun that won the West right there.
Number 3 is the Winchester 1886, a little bit different style.
It's a different style, and I think, now I think I might be wrong, but that's the one that they brought out that would handle your big Buffalo cartridges. I'm not quite sure on that. I might get corrected, but that's fine.
That's why we're here. That's why. Yeah. Number 2 best lever action is, according to Outdoor Life magazine, is the Winchester 1873.
That was almost the first lever action. Now that is the gun that won the West. So
that one is okay.
Yeah. but it's kind of that's kind of for your low power cartridges. So it's an icon, 45 Colt, 4440, 3840, stuff like that. So,
and then number one, it says, and this surprised me. This one did, because I would assume Winchester would be top of the list. But the number one, according to Outdoor Life magazine, best lever action in history is the Henry lever action rifle.
Really?
It is, according to them.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I would not be that. I would have probably picked one of the Winchesters.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
1894 would probably be my pick right there. But the according to Outdoor Life, they feel that the Henry was the first lever action rifle. It was the first to be commercially successful. So it may not be, definitely not for accuracy or anything, but maybe it was just in their mind successful because they sold a lot of them.
Well, and Henry, the name has been around since, Winchester. That was, they didn't have forearms on them. You go back 1873, whenever. So the Henry rifle, the design, and I've got a couple of Henrys too, and I like them. So
yeah. We're almost out of time here. There's a couple text messages. The Ruger built Marlins are out right now. They're out in 4570, this guy says, and the 1873s were rimfires. And then Jamie says Ruger makes Marlins now. They're supposed to be pretty good. So, and then Clay Peterson says those Winchester level shotguns are fun to shoot. Had the opportunity to shoot one in the NRA Whittington Center volunteer from Minnesota brought his along. So I might have to get one. One. Yeah.
And those designs, that shotgun, the 94, stuff like that, lots of shotguns, those are all John Browning designs. So, when you're in that world and you mention John Browning, I mean, that's he's the big kahuna in that world,
Yeah.
So,
one guy,
but no,
well, really quick, one guy on YouTube says that his first rifle was a 7mm Mauser. Sporterized iron sights, 100 rounds in 1959 was $49. Where the
So I think we're proving the 10 people, 10 calibers. I mean, we're moving up there, and I don't think we've heard the same one twice.
No. One question comes in and says Teddy Roosevelt shot what as a rifle? What was his go-to rifle? Do you know that?
I think it was that was the 1895 Winchester.
That's what I thought too.
Which is clip fed, and I think he likes I don't know what the hell that caliber was. 405 Winchester.
Okay. He liked the big caliber stuff though, didn't he? I mean, yeah, he did. And that 1895 was really cool, but there again, that's a clip fed one, so you're out in the competition. You're out in competition, but you're okay back in the day, I guess, that way. Hey,
back in the day, yeah.
Back in my day. Hey, Gene Cox, thank you so much for coming on the program today, having a little talk, gun guru talk here today. We'll do it again sometime, and good luck healing up, my friend.
Oh, yeah, no problem. You too. Enjoy the gun auction.
All right, thanks a lot here. That's Gene Cox out of Mobridge, South Dakota. Thanks so much for joining me on today's program. Catch Dakota Prairie Outdoors and all these radio stations, plus a few more. And if you can't, go to DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. Have yourself a good one. See you at the gun auction today. Eat some meat, drink some milk, have yourself a great weekend, and enjoy the wind as best you can. All right, stations, thank you. Mr. Cox, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
And I said, Wayne Moose says, hey, my mother and father listen to your show weekly. Bernice and Emmanuel, you should give them a shout out. I'll have to do it. Wayne, remind me next week. And that came in.